Rob, thank you for joining us. It's defeat here at the Broadfield Stadium. Can I get your thoughts after the game?
Yeah, disappointing. I felt we deserved something more from the game, especially the way we pushed towards the end. Just didn't fall for us. Poor goal to concede. Charlton step on you man for man, so it's a real physical battle, and I thought the lads were exceptional in terms of dealing with it. It's just disappointing in terms of the moment of quality when we could have had opportunities to really hurt them and open them up. But obviously that's why they're the leanest team in the league. They don't concede many. You can see why. They're really aggressive high up the pitch and then defending huge numbers underneath it. So, yeah, it's really disappointing. The lads are gutted because they've given absolutely everything for the second game in a row, and we just weren't able to get that final bit of quality in the box for it to fall for us. Disappointed because I think that the mentality going into the game and the way we dealt with their exceptional physicality for this level, I thought the lads were brilliant to a man. But I think we just lacked that little bit of quality in the final third. And first half we just panicked a little bit and played into their press a bit too much, which we talked about going over it. So that was disappointing. But then second half we adjusted to it well, and got a foothold in the game, but just didn't have that final third breakdown to be able to get the goal.
Yeah, as you say, a bit of a sort of scrappy affair. A lot of loose balls that we were actually picking up really well for large parts of the game. As you say, we certainly controlled a lot of the momentum, certainly going forward. Is it just a disappointment that we seem to sort of lack shots on target, lack sort of, movement inside the box to sort of create those final chances?
Yeah, we talked about, loading the box, getting good numbers in, hitting the zones. And that comes with two things. That comes with desire to get in the box. That comes with fitness levels to get there. And I think that's the thing Charlton did exceptionally well in terms of like the way they play, the way they cover the ground. And I think it's something that we're definitely improving on, but something we need to improve on. And then I think it's just that our last bit of quality when we do get into them areas. It's just making sure that you hit the crossing zones we talk about. And we talked about the pullback a lot tonight because of the way they drop in, and we weren't able to manipulate that to get the opportunity. And when we did, we weren't able to hit the target. So yeah, it's great that we have all that dominance in the box entries, but we need to turn it into goals, and that's ultimately what has probably let us down the last game or two. We get the goal against Reading, but I thought the opportunities we've got in the box, we could have capitalised more.
Yeah, and the good news is that we're going to have obviously Rashan and Tola both back from their suspensions. Will Swan had a incredible job coming up against that back line today. Will those sort of additions, obviously Rushy with a bit of pace in behind, and obviously Tola is quite a big figure in the box. So will they sort of help in games and situations like that where Will's forced to sort of try and control this massive back line on his own?
I thought Will was brilliant. He's put his body on the line. He worked so hard, and he had a couple of opportunities that I think on another day he gets the contact right, and like Will Swan runs his heart into the ground for this club. He might have the highlights and might not look like it, but he does the most work for the team every single week and gives everything. And he's been a real credit. Having Tola and Rushy back will definitely help. Definitely help in terms of having them forward options. Rushy's had a good turn of form since the new year, and Tola obviously, he's raw, but he knows where the goal is, and he's good physically. Obviously the one thing we do lack in terms of the forward players is that aerial threat, and that's the disappointing thing. When you do get into them areas, not being able to have that extra aerial threat in terms of getting on the end of crosses when the teams do load the box. So we have to be even more clever in terms of the cutbacks and the balls across the front. But yeah, look, it's good to have the squad coming back. Flinty hopefully back, Jez was back. Having Tola and Rushy definitely adds that attacking impetus, and yeah, we'll see where it takes us on through the week and where we're at Saturday.
Yeah, and it is great to see the likes of obviously Jeremy coming back, because that not only helps the 11 that are out there, but also the bench as well, because it gives you fresh options to sort of bring people on. And Charlton, I think, were a great example of that. They had some great names again on the bench this evening that they were able to utilise. So it just shows how important a big squad can be, because we are still down to bare bones, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, and I think that you're seeing a lot of tired bodies out there. We're having to rotate and rest and make changes because of injury. We have to be careful of a few lads, but that's football, that's life, and that's where we've obviously probably. I think we've had a lot of impact injuries this year, and I think it's the step up to this league, the physicality, the size of the players, and it's taken us a little while to adjust. And obviously losing two players to two sending-offs doesn't help. So look, it's disappointing in terms of the players available, because when you have a fully fit squad, then we've got quality and depth. But hopefully, we can turn a corner in that. And the big thing is people step up. So you look at Ben Radcliffe, who was playing National League National League early in the season. Charlie Barker, who come in after playing nationally last year, he's now our captain for the last couple of games and been absolutely exceptional. So, when sometimes it seems like it can be the darkest time, there's always a bit of light in some people and players. And I think what I'm really proud of this group is, even though we're having tough times, they've stuck together. They've been exceptional people, and I think they've set standards, even though the results haven't reflected that. But it's a results business, so we need to make sure that we're able to go and get the points that we need.
Yeah, what's the overall feeling like in the dressing room? And just to sort of expand on that, obviously we know how big statistics are at this club, but also lots of other clubs as well. Running statistics are a big part of that, and I think tonight there's going to be probably some exceptional numbers from a lot of the players in there, because, as you say, we keep banging the drum on it, but the players are giving their 110%, so it must hurt even more after sort of a gutsy performance like that, especially with the chances that we created. It must hurt a lot more.
It does, yeah. And I think the overriding feeling is disappointment. I think the lads are just gutted, because they give absolutely everything. I think it was just moments of quality where it could have fell for us and given away a poor goal, But it's been the story of our season. We've conceded poor goals, and that's something that we have to accept. Ultimately lies on my head. I think the physicality thing, it was a problem when we first come in, and we've worked hard to get the numbers up to be able to compete at this level, but we still are probably physically on the data below teams. And that's something we need to reflect on, we need to look at, and we need to make sure that we add that to our overall collective of data and recruitment, because this league is so tough physically. It's exceptionally tough, and then to have to go up against that with all the other things that go against us, it's going to be tough. But for me, as long as the lads are giving everything, which they are, and they're showing that by going on the pitch and getting everything for the club, it's the most important thing, because there's players out there that will be a huge part of Crawley's future, and players that are to be exceptionally proud of and look forward to watching. It's just disappointing when you're going up against what is a very, very tough league, tough oppositions every week, and then when the results don't come, that's where you have to stay true and keep doing the right things, because eventually that will get you where you want to be.